Hello, welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and I am happy to have you here. Thank you for all of those of you who have subscribed, shared, or liked. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm going to do a general tarot / oracle card reading today, and today we are going to dig into how can I increase my peace? So whether that be peace of mind, peace in the body, peace in the spirit, peace in the soul, peace in the community, peace in relationships, whatever that might be, whatever comes up, whatever spirit is sort of guiding the reading to take. This is going to be a pick-a-pile. You would have seen on the thumbnail that there are 3 choices, and the first pile will be the picture of the path to the ocean. The second pile would be the picture of the circle in the woods. And the third pile will be the mountain lake. If you would like to go directly to your piles, you can certainly go to the timestamps. There will be timestamps in the comments as well as in the description. And you can go directly to your pile. In a moment here, I'm going to start the pile picking for those of you who are interested in the pile picking. And we will dig in. So I also want to alert you all and let you know that, as I said, this will be a general reading. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, I do offer personal readings. And you can email me at abundantjoytarot@gmail.com, all small case, all together. And I will get back to you on the specifics and details of the reading. My readings are typically done through Zoom, and an opportunity to be able to look directly at your particular journey and any questions that you might have. So give me a holler if you're interested. Let's get started with the pile picking. Again, if you'd like to go directly to your reading, please do. Just click on the timestamps. And so I am going to get started here. We're going to pull quite a few. So this reading is going to be broken up into 3 sections. Okay, and the first section we're going to be looking at your current situation and or what might be disturbing the peace, if you will. And then the second section will be on what actions or knowledge you need to increase your peace. And then the third section will be on Spirit's guidance to increase your peace. All right, so that being said, I'm actually going to pick the cards backwards from the order that we're actually going to be reading them. So for the guidance from Spirit, we are going to pull 2 of these tarot cards, and then did I get that right? All of those decks, is that right? Well, let me just check it. So I've got it written down over here that you all can't see. So I'm going to pull 4, pile 1, which is the path to the ocean pile. We are going to get Spirit to give us 2 tarot decks with guidance from your guides, guardians. Oh, no, I think it's actually this one. Yeah. All right, and then for pile 2, which is going to be the circle in the woods, what do your this way guidance guides or guardians want to share with you in terms of restoring your peace? Spirit, for pile number 3, what guidance do you have? 1 and 2. So those are going to be the tarot for the guidance from Spirit. And then we are pulling 1 of these. This is a big card, and I have small hands, and the camera's kind of low. Let's see if I can lift that camera up. There we go. There we go. All right. So, which one of these for pile 1 and for pile 2? Pile 2. And pile 3. Okay. That one. All right. And then, where is this one here? Okay, okay, so for pile 1, Spirit, what is the guidance for pile 1? One card of guidance for pile 1. And for pile 2, can they restore their peace? They're not going to restore their peace. All those that chose pile 2. Okay, and then for pile 3. Bunch of cards there. A lot to say to pile 3. Okay. Pile 3. Let's see if I can pull that one. I'm not going to pull both. Okay. All right. Okay, now we are going into what is going to be the second section on what do you need to know or what actions can you take to increase your peace. And I think this is actually the one for pile 1. Okay. And then for pile 2, what actions can all of those souls who chose pile number 2, what actions can they take? And for pile 3, what actions or thoughts do they need to take to increase their peace? Oh, that one, okay. All right. And then we are pulling from this oracle, and this is going to be, okay, pile 1, pile 2, cards there, and pile 3. And then this is again still looking for guidance on the actions, knowledge that you need to increase your peace. And that's for 1. I mean, this is going to be for 2, and this is actually 3. Okay. And then we're pulling 2 tarot for what action? No, 3 of the light seers. So 1 for pile 1, 2, yep, and 3. Okay, and then for pile, okay, pile 2, pile 2. Do a little flip around for it, and pile 2. Okay. Oops. Okay, and then for pile 3. For pile 3. Oops. Cards switch around. Pile 3. And pile 3. One more for pile 3. Yep, that one. Okay. And then on the first section, then we're looking at what is the current situation, or possibly what is disturbing the peace. What is the current energy around you, and or what is possibly disturbing your peace. What is the current situation for pile 1? 1, 2, and let's think we were doing 3. 3. And then for pile 2. Pile 2. Got 1, 2, oops, and 3. Oops, I know that one. Okay, I'm going to read that for the group. And then for pile 3. Pile that multiple cards? Yeah, okay. 3. Okay, so that is the tarot for the current situation. We're going to pull 2 more oracle cards, but this Ace of Swords kept popping out. So Ace of Swords really talks about a beginning, okay? It talks about new ideas coming to the forefront. It talks about, it really has an energy of movement to it, an awakening of some kind, an awakening of thought, an awakening of mind. So if we think about it in terms of what can restore your peace, then we're actually pulling the section for what is the current situation. Some of you may be experiencing some newness in your world, if you will. So some newness in your world, some new beginnings, possibly a paradigm shift, because it can be that sort of spark of inspiration, a shift in the way that you're thinking about things. And that can either be it can be causing some disturbance within your own mind, right? So that it can be causing some disturbance within your own mind, but it's really a card. It really is arboring that. It's letting me know that many of you who are turning to this page, you may be going through some kind of shift or transformation in your life right now, but the thought processes that you are shifting into, it's a positive new way of thinking about things. They just may be different from what you have thought in the past. And so allow yourself to be open, if you will, to new ideas, new thought processes, new ways of analyzing your situation, your life circumstances. So that's, that actually feels complete for me in terms of why that was popping out. So that's just for those of you guys who are watching this long pile picking. God bless you. So we're going to pull 2 more cards here. So for pile 1 spirit, this is helping us understand what the current situation is for pile 1. What is the current situation for pile 1? And for pile 2, helping us understand the current situation for pile 2. Okay. And pile 3. Okay. And then finally, we're going to pull these little charm cards to help us understand the current situation. Ooh, well, that was 3 cards. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so those are our gigantic piles for this piece reading. And so again, the way that they are, because we're not using crystals for this particular reading, just because I chose these images. And so the first pile is going to be the path to the ocean photo. And then pile 2 is going to be the circle in the woods that you'll see photo. And pile 3 is going to be the mountain lake image. So those are going to be your piles. I am excited to see you in your readings. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you soon. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose the rock path to the open ocean pile, this is going to be your reading, pile 1. Okay. And so again, for those of you who maybe did not stay for the pile picking, this is going to be a 3-part reading. We are digging into how can we increase our peace? What can we do to increase our peace? In the first section, the first oracle cards and tarot cards I pull are going to be on what is the current situation, what might be disturbing your peace. All right. The second section will be on what can you do, what action can you take, what guidance, knowledge can you gain to increase your peace. And then the final section is Spirit's guidance, specifically to you around increasing your peace. All right. So let's dig in and look at what is the current situation. What might be something that's disturbing the peace? And I'll pull those cards and then we will take a look at it. So you got the charm card, the white rabbit. Now, this says luck is on your side. Take that calculated risk. Opportunity is on the way. If you've wanted to express yourself to someone, now is the time. You have needed attention and validation lately. Give yourself more self-love. So right away, we can see that for this pile, part of what's happening in regards to disturbing your peace is not so much the luck space, but it gives me the understanding or feeling that you have been contemplating something, taking a risk of some kind. And oftentimes, when we're wanting to make a change or do something different, it can disturb our peace of mind, right? Because we haven't yet made the decision. We're sort of in that middle space. And so, this card is letting me know that that may be an issue for some of you. The other thing that could be going on in your current situation is that, there's a need, you're not getting the level of attention that you need in your life, whether that be in your partnerships, whether that be at work with your colleagues or whatever it may be. And so there's a need for you to really step in and give yourself a bit more self-love, self-guidance, self-nurturing. All right. And then you've got, and I'm just going to pull all of these and then read them. So you've got the Archangel Phanuel, and forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. And we've got hope, optimism, and new beginnings. So again, we're getting this thought process of something changing, something shifting, something new in your world. And even when newness is not a bad thing, it can still disturb our peace in a way because it's just a shift. It's a change. And as human beings, we struggle with that at times. So this is the last part of this section of just looking at the current situation. And this is the tarot for that. So you've got again, we've got this movement here. So you've got the Six of Swords. We'll talk about that. The Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. And the Strength card. All right. So I'm hoping that you all are seeing all of this here. So you've got the Six of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Strength card. All right. So we're going to look at these tarot cards here first. So in terms of looking at the current situation, what I'm really seeing here is, and it's kind of echoed back to this idea of taking a calculated risk. The Six of Swords talks about moving away from a situation to better grounds. It's like needing to let go of a situation. Now, this situation, because we've got this Eight of Pentacles here, is leading me to believe that this pile may be dealing with something having to do with either your current work situation or a sole purpose or project, even could be creative project that you're working on, which could be your full career or it could be like a side project of some kind. But there's something in the way that you're working. There's something about the environment that you're currently in that you're needing to have to walk away from. Now, the thing about the Six of Swords is that, you know, we've got this carrier, this farrier, this farrier here who is gently guiding them to the new direction. And part of the message behind the Six of Swords is that divine help or assistance comes in at just the right time. So look out for the signals around you, but this is your current situation. So as we talk about what is disturbing your peace within your current situation, it feels like the big thing that I'm seeing here is a change in your work, a need to be able to focus on something, put some dedicated time into it, master a skill. That need is there. And maybe there are things in your environment that are not allowing you to focus on what you feel you need to do there. And so therefore it's disturbing your peace. You've also got the Strength card. Now, the Strength card talks about that gentle strength, that inner strength that we need to exhibit at times. It's not the boisterous, loud, I am strong strength. It's that sort of quiet, nurturing strength where she's taming the lion here with just her very presence, the peace of her presence, right? And so it really is letting me know that there's a need for you to kind of, going back to this card on the Archangel, to have hope and optimism as you're facing these new beginnings. Be careful of your mindset is what is coming in for me in terms of what your current situation is. Okay, so if that doesn't resonate with you in terms of what your current situation is, you may want to take a peek at one of the other piles because this is what we're seeing here as your current situation. All right, that being said, we're going to be moving to the next phase of the reading where we're looking at what actions and or knowledge do you need to either take or gather in regards to increasing the peace in your world. All right. So let's look at the tarot that you have. Okay, so you've got the Ace of Pentacles. There's such an energy of new beginnings here. But what's lovely about this is the Ace of Pentacles is like a solid beginning. It's the beginning, it kind of reminds me back to this craft, right? Because we've got the Eight of Pentacles here and the Ace of Pentacles here. So there's an embracing of stepping into the work that you need to do to master your craft, okay? So that's the first thing we're seeing. Wow, look at that. And you've got the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you all are working on mastery. And one of the things that's going to allow you to come back to your state of peace is to get about the work of doing that mastery. Okay? Because whatever it is that you're having to pull away from, you need to allow yourself to fully let that go so that you can step on moving toward mastering the skill that you're being pulled to move toward, whatever that. But look at that. And the King of Wands. You got two kings here. You've got two kings. So what you're really needing to do in terms of taking action and gathering knowledge is you need to step into your kingdom, whether you are a queen or a king, okay? You need to step fully into your kingdom. The thing about kings is kings are solid. They make decisions. Oftentimes they're very strategic in terms of, I'm talking about the suit, okay? I'm talking about the suit of kings in the tarot, okay? And what I'm saying is that that energy is very much about really kind of stepping fully into this sort of masculine energy, if you will, that is like grounded and sturdy and clearly making a decision. The King of Wands is a natural leader, charismatic, passionate leader. Okay, and then you've got this great new beginning here. So in this section being what actions, what knowledge do I need to embrace to bring back my peace? You all are all about stepping into your imperial power, right? Like stepping into this. The King of Pentacles has built the legacy, and that comes after the Eight of Pentacles, right? Of doing the diligent work. So whatever is keeping you from doing the work on whatever is driving your soul purpose, you need to gently, compassionately, lovingly step away from that so that you can fully embrace the time and focus that you need to be able to do this work, because this is a very abundant place for you all. Kings are very abundant, wealthy, at peace. They are balanced, okay? Balanced. And that's really the energy that we are seeking. Now, the oracle cards that we're looking at in terms of the actions, you've got the spider and the passion flower. Creative ingenuity. I love that. So I really am getting that there is a project here that you all need to be putting your time and attention on. And what is disturbing your peace right now is whatever is distracting you from doing that, okay? Now, this is interesting. You've got forgiveness, okay? Forgiveness. Look at that. And there's something about this image of letting go of this. Wow, I'm seeing this in two ways. On one level, it's about allowing yourself to easily let go of something that you have been holding too tightly to, that you have been caging of some kind, okay? So that reminds me of this Six of Swords energy here that we see, this sort of compassionately stepping away from something that is no longer serving you. And then on the other side of this, in terms of the actual actions that you need to take to bring your peace, it's about, I really see this is like your creative energy, your passion, your fire. I mean, this bird is like a vibrant orange, which reminds me of that creative energy, that creative fire that is within you, that you've been holding back and not allowing yourself to fully release it. Let it out of its cage so that you can fully be who it is that you are meant to be, that Spirit wants you to be, that Spirit is calling you to do. What is that work that is lighting a fire in you? For some of you, I'm really hearing that it might be that it's in the back crevices of your mind. Like it's not a full raging fire in terms of what that creative passion is, but it's just a slight whisper in the back of your mind, but it's needling you. And that the thing is that it's this idea, you might be getting different, Spirit is telling me that you're getting different synchronicities. You're it's like, it's kind of like you're running into people that maybe you have seen in your past. I don't know why I'm getting this, but that other people that you've dealt with in the past, right? Like, you're running into past acquaintances, right? And they're talking about something that they're doing that is kind of needling your path. Like, it's there. It's like that creative spirit is there, and it's like nudging you. You're seeing something, listening to something on a podcast. You are, running across something, and, something that you're looking at online on Instagram or some of the social media sites. And it's just like these things keep coming up and pointing you in the direction of this thing, but it's like in the back of your mind. And some of you have like pushed it down or caged it for so long that you're not even fully hearing it. And so Spirit is asking you to be still for a bit so that you can really fully step into what it is. Some of you already know what it is. So those of you who know what it is, pick it up and go with it, because you need to start taking action steps toward this passion. Okay. And those of you who are maybe not clear on what I'm saying, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But some of you, it is in the whispers in the back of your mind. You have a hunch about something, but you're not putting the time and energy into it. Okay. And Spirit is saying that when you start doing that, you're going to have a sense of peace wash over you, like the ocean that you stepped into when you stepped into this reading, right? When you took that path, the way that the ocean can kind of wash over, make you clean. When you go to the beach and you get that sense, and you go into the ocean and you get this sense of like a cleansing, like a cleaning of your spirit. It's like that same energy is what you need to do by stepping into your creative work. Okay, so that is what I am hearing there. Now, in regards to the spider and the passion flower card, creative ingenuity, this is about relieving your block. So again, it feels like that same releasing of this creative energy, setting that bird free, allowing that to come out, because spiders represent the balance of light and dark. Okay, they can be cunning but patient. They spin intricate webs that are both beautiful and deadly, right? The passion flower is a vining flower that has come to symbolize faith. All right. So this is really important, because this card is really talking about you having the ability to solve problems unconventionally and with cleverness, like the spider, right? Having some patience, using your strategy, right? That I was talking about with regards to these great kings that you got here, like using that mindset of using your integrity and your cleverness to be able to exercise patience in order to get what you need to get to, to reach your goal. The spider is like sitting in their web and just patiently waiting to fully receive what it is that they need to receive. Okay. So that's what we're seeing here in terms of what actions you need to take right now. All right. So hopefully that gives you kind of a clear vision for you all. This is really about letting that creative energy in you come out, be released from its cage. All right. You're going to need to probably step away from something. It might be an environment. It could be a work environment. It could be a partnership, companionship, friendship. Okay. It could be various things that you need to move. Some of you may need to physically move your environment so that you can free up your creative space, right? Your creative space. And now we are moving to what is Spirit's guidance. Oh, this was actually for your action. This one was go with the flow. Okay. Go with the flow. Look at that. Look at her. Okay. Wow. And then she's got this fire connection with the universe. And it's interesting because around her third eye is kind of like uh was ornated. Get is made ornate. Um yeah. This what I'm seeing here, and just like she's half grounded, and in this the bottom part of her kind of feels more spirit like, right? So it's almost like it is the connection. She's allowing the divine light to flow through her hands and flow through to the earth plane that is here. And it's saying go with the flow. So I'm really getting the sense that this creative work that you all doing, what you're letting go, is also like spirit and your guides are actually going to infuse you with what you need. There's just a way in which you need to open yourself up to be able to receive the stimulation, if you will, in terms of your creative block, to be able to let that go and allow yourself to fully create. Understand that you are already tapped in to the universal support. You're already tapped in to your higher guides and spirits. Okay. And they're wanting to support you, infuse you with the energy that you need to do the work here that is coming out of this energy of this Ace of Pentacles, these new projects, these new ideas, so that you can get to the level of this King of Pentacles, which is so lovingly abundant and balanced and secure, and the creative passion of the King of Wands, which is a natural born leader. Okay, lovely. Okay, beautiful reading, you guys. This is so great. Yeah, it's really just about tapping into your creativity. So now let's see here what our guidance is from Spirit. Now we did pull 2 tarot and then 2 oracle cards for the final guidance from Spirit. So you've got the Queen of Materials, which is going to be the Queen of Pentacles. All right. And look at her in all her fire. Okay. And the Muse of Emotions, which kind of another king. This is king, queen. Okay. So you've got all of this wonderful energy, and you got the pentacles, the wands, and the emotions. And which is the emotions, but it's the cups. Okay, represents the cups as well. Okay, wow. So this really Spirit is really saying, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So first of all, Spirit is encouraging you to step fully into your own power. Look at all her sass, okay? And the Queen of Materials is extremely abundant. She is balanced. She is tapped in. She's so abundant that she is just giving. She's just like that Mother Earth energy of just like nurturing and giving, okay? Just a beautiful, beautiful energy. She is blossoming just like she is here, just blossoming. And I love how it's like, I love her earrings here. It's really drawing me to what you are. Spirit is really wanting you to stop and listen. Those of you who are not clear, this is what is coming to me. Those of you who are not clear on what it is that we're talking about here in regards to what that creative passion is that you need to release, Spirit is asking you to be still and listen, because you are going to hear exactly what it is that you need to do to move forward with that. And there is a way in which you also need to step into your queen power. Okay? Step into your queen power. Now, this Muse of Emotions, this King of Emotions, is like the King of Cups. And the key thing that I'm picking up from this card for you all right now from Spirit is about balancing your emotions. Because the King of Cups is really balanced and highly, highly emotionally intelligent. Okay, tapped into what is happening to them around them at all times. Okay, in regards to the emotions of others and from the emotions without, in terms of other people, and the emotions within, and being able to balance the two seemingly easily, right? Being able to understand emotionally what is happening in your environment and how to best leverage that to be able to get you to where you need to get in terms of your balanced emotions as well. This is what is going to help bring your peace, okay? So if you need, and I'm hearing this, that if any of you all are feeling like your emotions are really out of balance and really out of sync, and Spirit is asking you to find support. There is support for you. They are supporting you to be able to help get your emotions into balance. Okay. Now that can look like meditation. It can look like, prayer. It can look like church. It can look like a therapist. Okay. It can look like a talk with a good friend over a cup of tea, but finding a place to be able to balance your emotions. For some of you out here, that it could be finding somewhere to laugh. Okay, so go watching a comedic comic or a comedy movie, something that's gonna to allow you to laugh. Whatever the emotion is that you have not had much of lately, it's like they're wanting you to balance that. So if you're holding something in and you actually need to release and cry or do something like that, find a supportive friend to talk to you about it. Have a cup of tea, do that. If you haven't been letting yourself just have joy, go somewhere and laugh, like allow yourself to laugh, okay? If you just need to be still, be still. But find a way to balance what is going on for you emotionally, and that is going to help restore your peace, okay? And then the final cards that you have from Spirit, knowledge, okay. All right, and the Princess of Red Poppies, and this is the 11 card. The knowledge card is the 1 card. So it's almost like 111 from Spirit here. Interesting. Okay. So the knowledge card is really, I feel that Spirit is saying to you that some of you may need to do some research on what it is that you're bringing into fruition. And that when you start to gain more knowledge about what's possible in terms of this creative project, this new idea, this new thing that you're bringing into balance, that additional knowledge is going to help bring, I mean, look how peaceful she is, okay? I love this. And then we've got the swan. It's like she's on the water and she is steering the water with her knowledge, right? And her knowledge is connected to spirit. So this is the air spirit. So air also kind of speaks about thoughts. It's it's kind of that sword energy, right? The thoughts and the ideas. So there's a sense of like, also I feel that some of you, Spirit is saying that some of you have had like these ideas rumbling around in your head and they're just kind of in your mind, but you haven't sat down and put it down on paper, done some strategy around what it is that this idea is. And the peace will come when you begin to formulate a plan around that which you have been just kind of mulling about in your head. So Spirit is really asking you to take the time to do that, to do the work of laying out, even if it's just brainstorming, y'all, even if it's just writing down, because when you begin to do that, you're going to start to see a larger picture because Spirit's going to show it to you. Okay. So it's going to start to show you where things are connected and what resources you need. And it's going to begin to open up your mind so that you begin to draw exactly what you need. And so Spirit is really asking you to cultivate your knowledge around that which you're trying to create within this Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about this Kuan Yin Oracle, this final message here from Spirit. This is a beautiful card, okay? The Princess of Red Poppies. All right, and what this card is kind of like really overlaying really what we've been talking about here, because it says that it's time to move on from the past as a new person. A new life is possible for you. And it's not in some distant future. It's already begun or very soon will do, okay? Trust in your inner perceptions. given you through dreams, intuitions, symbols, or signs that just seem to speak to you at a deeper intuitive level. These are real, accurate, and a natural part of your own higher intelligence. You do not have to be afraid or resist your growing perceptive abilities. All right. This card also talks about that if any of you have been asking for or praying for expanded insight, psychic awakening, or understanding, better being able to understand your dreams, that your prayers are going to be answered and that you will see expanded insight and expanded intuition. If you have had, as I was saying earlier, we were talking about, I think Spirit had said something about meaning, connecting with people from your past, or getting signs and symbols and recognizing things from the past. And so this card is also a confirmation of that no matter how far-fetched or strange it may seem, this card is confirmation to trust in that insight and allow it to move you on, move you forward in the direction of your dreams. Okay. And then the message here from the oracle is, I bring you the gift of expanded perception, of being able to see the past, present, and future more clearly. As you see the higher truth, you will experience relief and peace. Allow me to help you leave the past behind you, find happiness in the now, and open up to the beautiful future ahead of you. Okay? So this card is really Spirit saying that you are loose, right? You are free, and Spirit is really supporting you in taking whatever steps you need to do, whatever you need to walk away from, whatever you need to step away from that's blocking you from being able to step fully into setting yourself free, setting your creative spirit free. Okay? Spirit is right there saying they're supporting you to step into your queendom and your kingdom. Okay? So this is a beautiful reading, you all. And in order to regain your peace, you are going to need to step into that which is calling you to be creative, that work that you need to master. Okay? I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you have not subscribed, I ask you to please click that button down there and subscribe. I'd love to have you in the community. And I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. We are digging into a 3-part reading today, and we are focusing on how can we increase our peace. So the first part of the reading is I'm going to dig into what is your current situation, what might be disturbing your peace. And then the second part will be what actions or knowledge do you need to gather, to do or to gather in order to increase your peace. Okay. And then the final part of the reading is to get guidance from Spirit, so specific guidance from Spirit on your, increasing your peace. And what does that look like? Okay, so I want to thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please click that subscribe button. And we are going to get started on your reading. I'm going to fix that candle really quickly and then come back so that we can have full light for this reading. Okay, let's jump into your reading. So, first section, what is the current situation? So, we have got the Black Cat. Take more time for meditation, deep breaths, or yoga. Slow down your thoughts and focus on the present moment. Okay, so we definitely know that you all in this pile may be going somewhat at the speed of light. I'm getting the sense that there's a lot of movement here and that there's a need for you to take a pause to check in with your breath, check in with your heartbeat. Your life needs more balance and organization. Prioritize more of what is important for you. See the good traits within yourself and others. Focus less on judgment and negativity. So the main thing that I'm getting here is that there's a need for you to take a pause. And B, you really need to watch what's going on in your head, watch your negative thoughts, and make sure that you're giving yourself the time to do what it is that you need to do. Oftentimes, we can get so caught up in this needs to be done now, that we actually stop to really kind of strategically think about how best to get it done. And, they always say like work smarter, not harder. But there's something to that in the idea of being able to kind of giving yourself, it's okay to take a breath. I'm feeling like I can barely breathe as I'm feeling like I want to speed, and I'm very conscious of needing to like take a breath and slow down. Even though I know this is going to be a long reading, but I feel like this may be the energy of just this pile. It just feels like there's a lot of frenetic energy and that you feel like you're moving very fast. You may even feel like you can't even sit and listen to this long reading. But I feel like this reading is actually going to be of service to you if you can take a breath, get yourself a cup of tea, and sit down and let's look at this situation together. All right, so that's what I'm getting on that very first card. And I spoke on it, things started to kind of slow down. Look at that. Woo! So this reminds me of when I got dragged to a level 4 river rafting trip by a good friend of mine. But this is talking about currents of emotions, all right? It's talking about uncontrolled feelings. And this is really powerful because what it's talking about is this sense of like feeling like your emotions are overrunning you, not feeling like you, because many of you are not stopping to actually feel the emotions that are coming up for you, or even be mindful of what those emotions are. So rather than you being mindful of the emotion is running your life, okay? And so this is what we're talking about, your current situation. And this card is all about a raging river, okay? And it's really talking about being in a time of upheaval, all right? Because the river sometimes is very calm, but it sometimes is very raging. And in this particular one, it's talking about uncontrollable feelings. You're experiencing possibly an emotional situation that could be at your work or within your family. And you could have multiple situations coming at you at one time, okay? And therefore you are just feeling sort of like swept away by the circumstances of your life, the busyness of your life, as well as the internal emotions that you've got going on that you have not been able to release. And so they're just kind of spinning around, if you will. So the high emotions may have been your kind of become a way of life, right? This sort of having chronic anxiety. Some of you may have some depression. You just may feel overwhelmed and completely out of balance in some way. That's what this card is really speaking to, is this sense of like the currents of emotions overrunning you like a raging river, rather than being able to find the peace that you need, which may be really why you're reading this at this reading, right? There's a need for you to find peace, okay? Difficult emotions come from negative thoughts and misinformed beliefs, and sometimes from miscommunication. So what I'm hearing is that some of you may have some miscommunications either in your workplace or in your home environment, maybe in a partnership, and this miscommunication has festered to the point where the emotions are just bubbling underneath the surface, okay? But yet those emotions, because they're not being dealt with, are actually driving your actions, which is causing, it's like, I need to get some breath. It's like causing chaos upon chaos because the emotions are not dealt with, okay? They're not vented out. They're not released. They're being held. So it's like a ticking time bomb, like a volcano ready to explode, okay? And so in order for you to get your peace, it's going to be necessary for you to release some of these emotions, to address them fully and honestly. so that you can breathe again in your life. Okay. I felt that like a wave. That was really strong. This card has an affirmation, and I want to share it with you because if you can repeat it to yourself, it may be helpful. The affirmation is, I remain balanced and peaceful. I perceive the situations around me with calm clarity, and my actions are tranquil and methodical. Okay? Taking things one step at a time. Okay? So this one I'm feeling is the current situation here. We haven't even pulled the tarot. Let me get moving here. So the tarot for your current situation is... Okay. Are these backward? Well, okay. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's just this one. Oops. Yeah, it's just this one. Okay. So you got the World card, but you got the World card turned upside down. And that actually makes some sense with the energy that I'm feeling. You've got the Knight of Wands and Choice. Okay. All right. So what I'm seeing here in terms of your current situation is right now, as we were starting to talk about, many of you may feel like your world is upside down. Okay. You may feel like things are just, they're out of balance, because the world upside down, it can mean several things. And this road means something, but what I'm picking up very clearly is that this world upside down is really talking about your actual environment around you, and understand that your external environment is the result of what's happening internally for you. And inside of you, you've got these currents of emotions, these uncontrolled feelings that are raging like a river here that's out of control. And so therefore your outside world probably feels as chaotic as your internal world. Okay. Now, you've got the Knight of Wands in here. So this is a fast-moving energy, okay? But it's also youthful and also can be a bit, what's the word? Like immature and restless, okay? Can speed in at this, it can speed through things quickly without pausing to really kind of examine the situation. So you have to be careful with the Knight of Wands, because although it can be a very beautiful, passionate energy full of creativity and all of that, it can also run ramshod over everything in its wake. Okay. And so it's really important to think about that. And in the context of this reading, I'm feeling like you've got an internal push here, that this kind of Knight of Wands is like pushing you to move forward in certain ways. But what's challenging right now, what's really disturbing your peace, is that you actually have a lot of choices in front of you. Some of them are good choices and some of them are not great choices. Some of them are fantastic choices, okay? But because of what is raging inside of you and what is maybe a bit chaotic in your world, with your world being upside down, you're not able to have the peace of mind to make a measured, clear, as we just read, methodical decision about moving yourself forward. So it's necessary for you to take more time for meditation and deep breaths. Slow down your thoughts. Focus on the present moment so that you can make the decision for the direction that you need to move forward, and then be able to go at a pace that you can actually sustain. All right? That's what I'm seeing for your current situation. If this does not resonate with you as your current situation, then you may want to pick another pile, okay? But meanwhile, we're going to go on to the next phase, which is to look at what actions or knowledge do you need to be able to increase your peace, okay? So this is what we have for your current situation, and we'll move this on up here. Oops. Let's try to get this world turned upside right, okay? By releasing some of these emotions, taking some time to breathe and meditate. Okay, so your tarot for what actions you need to take or knowledge do you need to gain to help bring back your peace. The Wheel of Fortune, and this is upright, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune, this is the world, this is the Wheel of Fortune, although it looks kind of like the world. The Four of Wands. Interesting. Okay. And the Five of Cups reversed. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so for your, okay, so what this is saying is, so the Four of Wands represents celebration within community. You know, this sort of sense, you can see they are getting their party on, no matter what it is about partying. The other thing that the wands represent, though, is also a sense of stability. Okay, they're kind of that first step within, you know, this sort of sense of a foundation, maybe is the better word, of a foundation, building a foundation of joy and abundance. Okay. Um, there's a need to release. I feel like many of you are there's a lot of pent up energy, you know, because what's raging inside of you. So there's, you know, I'm really seeing that in them is that, like, you can almost see even here as she's like waving her arms and dancing, the energy is being released from her body. It's like she's able to kind of let it go, let it all out, right? And so some of you, you may have to let it out through venting your emotions, through crying, through throwing something, through beating up a pillow, whatever it might be. And some of you can release by getting into your body, whether it be through doing some sort of physical exercise that will help you to release, or dancing, or, you know, whatever it might be. But there's a need for release. This is actions that you need to take to bring back your peace. The other thing is you've got this Five of Cups, but you've got the Five of Cups reversed, okay? Because the Five of Cups upright is talking about just sort of focusing on all that is lost, watching everything going down the drain, the sense of loss, grieving, feeling like you don't have anything left, even though you're holding this cup in your hand. But reversed is saying that in terms of the action that you need to take in terms of bringing the peace, it's about focusing on that one cup that you have left, turning your attention away from your negative thoughts and your negative feelings, and allowing yourself to focus on what is working well in your life, what is working for you, okay? So that is what this five is talking about. And then the Wheel of Fortune is such a lovely card because it is really talking about that the wheel is turning in your direction. Part of the way that we need to change that, to turn it in our direction, is to release and to change our thought process to be able to focus on that which is turning positively for us. We cannot shift what is in our current world until we change what is happening internally for us. So if we want to bring the good fortunes to us, that's where we need to put our focus. That's where we need to put our mindset. And Spirit is saying very clearly that you all also need to take a break. You need to breathe. You need to get a pause, get into your physical body, to let yourself release some of this energy that is raging around in you. And they're saying that they are right there with you. Your guides, your spirits are right there with you. You need to trust. Trust in your higher power. Trust in the guides, elevated guides that walk with you, that they have your back, and that all is not going to fall to pieces if you stop and take a pause. As a matter of fact, if you don't, things are going to continue to deteriorate. Okay, so it's really important that you do take a pause, meditate, get yourself a sense. In meditating, you all can just be breathing, taking some time to breathe and let yourself think. Step away from social media, step away from friends and family in terms of taking a walk, however you can do it, to get some space for yourself, to just allow your mind to relax, allow you to step in to prayer and connection so that you can have the guidance that you need to turn your world back around and get the Wheel of Fortune moving in your direction, okay? You've also got the Frog and the Lotus metamorphosis, okay? You're going through a transition. You're going through a transformation. Oftentimes it's darkest before the dawn, right? So oftentimes when things are in chaos, there's a sweetness in there that is coming on the other side of that chaos. You got to go with it. You got to ride it and release and get to the other side of that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Frog and the Lotus, but I just want to see what the other oracle cards are, yes, for this section. Perseverance, and forgiveness. Okay, so let's look at this. So perseverance. Okay, you guys are running this race. This card is from the Awakened Soul Oracle, and it really talks about not giving up on yourself. It really talks about understanding that within you, you have more than you think possible with regards to resilience, strength, inner strength, and capability. The Spirit is really saying here that in terms of taking action, you got to keep moving. Do not give up on yourself, okay? Bet on yourself and keep yourself moving. Now, when I say keep yourself moving for this card, that can also entail giving yourself a rest, okay? Giving yourself a pause, taking a meditation. What I'm saying is keep moving on your dreams. Keep moving on, not giving up on yourself. Keep moving when you feel like everything is against you. Get yourself back up and understand that you have what it takes. You have the perseverance to be successful. Okay. And Spirit is asking you to give it that, keep going, give it another try. Even if you feel like you're down on the mat, y'all, take a deep breath, push yourself up and keep moving. Okay. Because Spirit is going to help you. You're going to take one step and Spirit is going to take three. Okay. That is that card. And then you've got forgiveness. Now, this can be some of the hardest stuff, you all, because if you have been dealing with something in where you've had a major transgression against you in some ways, it's hard to forgive, okay? It is hard to forgive, but the thing is, it is absolutely necessary. And by forgiving, you are not forgiving the transgression. You're not forgiving the act that was done against you, right? You're not saying you're forgiving it, but you're not saying that it is okay, that, that it wasn't a wrong thing to have happened to you, an unjust thing to have happened to you, okay? You're forgiving so that you can restore the peace. You can restore the peace. And I'm not talking about the peace within the connection or whatever it might be, or whatever, wherever the transgression took place, whether it's family, companion, friends, work, whatever it might be. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about restoring your inner peace, restoring your inner peace, because believe me, all of that tossing and turning, all of those thoughts around the transgression or whatever may be hurting you or whatever disappointed you or whatever the loss was, is taking more energy from you than it's taking from anyone else. Okay? So it's critical for you to be able to get your peace, to forgive whatever that is. And those of you who are watching this reading, as soon as I pulled up that forgiveness card, whatever popped in your head, that's what it is, okay? Because we know when there are things that are still in our heart that we need to forgive. We can try to push it away. We can try to, kind of feel like, oh yeah, I've forgiven, but no, you need to really, really release it. Okay. Really, really release it, because that is what is going to bring your peace. And we're in the section of what action do you need to take to increase your peace? Forgive, y'all. Forgive for your own sake. I implore you to forgive and fully forgive. Fully forgive. Okay. So that's more than just, yeah, I accept it. Yeah, you're forgiven. Okay, that's more than I heard that in my head. Like, it's more than that. It's about really releasing the pain, the hurt, the betrayal from your heart, so that you can look at the situation whole, as a whole person. So hopefully that resonates with you. That being said, so we're moving on now to the next section of Spirit's guidance to you. But I did want to talk about the frog and the lotus, okay? And this metamorphosis card, okay? Because this is all about change, okay? This talks about the fact that change is absolutely natural and that rebirth is totally possible. So many of you who are spinning around in what feels like maybe a little bit of a hamster wheel, your emotions feel a bit out of control, your world seems like it's a little bit upside down. When we're in those states, it can feel like there's not enough change in the world that can get you from this place to the place that you want to be, that is going to bring you the peace. And Spirit is saying that absolutely it is possible. And that not only is it possible, but that a healing balance is absolutely achievable. All right. The frog developing as it does from a tiny tadpole symbolizes the transformation. The lotus flower, too, symbolizes rebirth, because the lotus flower, if you've seen a lotus flower, it kind of unfurls even in the murky water. Okay. So it's in the murky water, but it blossoms into this beautiful, beautiful flower. Okay. The resulting metamorphosis that you're going through is going to open you to growth, self-acceptance, and happiness. So this card is asking you to think about what needs changing in your life and to take the steps, one step at a time, toward achieving that change. Give yourself the space and time to think about what it is that you want to change in your life and what steps you need to take, and take the first step. Okay? Take the first step so that you can allow yourself, gift yourself the possibility of changing, of rebirth, of renewal in your life. All right? And then the guidance that you have from Spirit. Okay, so we pulled 2 tarot cards and 2 oracle cards for guidance from Spirit. And you got, let me just make sure. Okay, so interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. So you got the Chariot card and you got the Justice card in reverse. Okay. Now, because this Justice card is coming in reverse, to me, it really is saying that the scales are still unbalanced, all right? And the way that you can bring them to balance is by taking action with purpose. The Chariot card is all about, you can see here, I love that it's got these horses, and there's the white and dark horses. This is about blending together your shadow and your light. And the Chariot card, which is a 7 here, in the Justice card here. So the Justice card is speaking of the karma. It's bringing things back into balance, the natural law unfolding. And it feels like the reason why the natural law is not coming into play, is not unfolding, is not bringing balance back to this situation, is because you need to take action. The Chariot, unlike some of the other action cards within the tarot, is really speaking about moving from a place of soul purpose, taking the learnings, the experiences that you have had from this situation and other situations that you've had in your life, getting clear about what your purpose is for the future, and then moving forward to success. The Chariot card talks about a guaranteed success when you're moving in the direction of your soul's purpose. So this is how we're going to get to the place. This is what Spirit is saying, that this is how you're going to get to the place of peace. This is how you're going to be able to move yourself out of your current situation. This is how you're going to be able to turn the Justice card upright and bring the natural law back into balance. Okay? You need to take action with a sense of purpose, knowing in your heart and in your mind that you will be successful. Okay? And then your oracle cards, enlightenment. Okay. And here we have another 7 card. Yeah, I really feel like, let your world spin on its axis. Okay. And then you've got the enlightenment card here, which is going to be 20, which is a 2. Okay. And this is the 7, the let your world spin on its axis. So I want to go to look at these oracle cards. So this is interesting. Like, I really feel like your biggest action, the first action that you all need to take right now, is to take a pause, Connect to your meditation. Connect to your higher self, your higher being, your higher power. Okay. If any of you all go to temple or go to a church, or is there somewhere that brings you peace? This is saying the forest temple. So it's like some of you, your temple really is nature. For me, taking walks is one of the biggest places that I pray. Okay. It's like that connection to being outdoors, whatever your temple is that connects you directly to your soul and your soul purpose, your higher power, your guardians, your angels, your guides, whatever it is that supports you in your journey. What allows you to get closest to them? This is where you need to go. And this is the first step into being able to turn this around. Okay. This says meditate on the light within you and around you. Connect with the ever-present energy of the divine. Because right now your awareness is increasing. Your ability to understand the world is shifting. So it's important for you to be able to reach out to spirit and get connected. Allow yourself to meditate on your own soul's purpose. Okay. This card talks about changes. Changes are coming. We've got that, right? Changes are coming here, and you are going to lighten up. You're going to feel buoyant and free in that same energy as the Four of Wands here. This is the type of energy that you're moving toward, okay? So your connection to spirit is also deepening. That's what this card is talking about in terms of enlightenment, okay? You are you are arising to you are ascending to a new level of enlightenment, okay? And so it's important to give yourself the space you need to actually be able to feel that, to feel your enlightenment, okay? Really, really important. Now, I love this card from the Kuan Yin deck here. Let your world spin on its axis. And we've really been talking about, we started out by saying your world is a bit upside down, okay? And so this card is really talking about what we've been talking about here, y'all. It says change is here, okay? Change is happening in your world. It is upon you whether or not you want it to be or not, okay? So in order for you best to be able to ride the change, let your world spin on its axis, okay? If you're struggling to let go, life is happening. Just don't worry about how it will all work out, and learn to find simple ways to be grounded while in the middle of disarray. And I feel like you all are already in a bit of that disarray, okay? That things are moving in a way that feels completely out of balance. The changes that are happening for you are actually part of how your prayers are being answered, okay? Do not fight against the creation of your own dream. Let life move you, even if it makes no sense because you are disoriented by the disarray. In time, you will see how what seemed like a problem is actually part of the solution. Okay, so Spirit is saying very clearly that it is best to go with the flow, accept this change, and move forward. Okay, I had a bit of a mic drop there, so hopefully that was clear to you in terms of what I was saying. And I wanted to share the actual words from the Oracle deck here on let your world spin on its axis. There are times when change is needed in order for a dream to manifest. I answer your prayers with what is needed to bring them to fruition. Sometimes that means life will appear to be messy for a time. But know that this is nothing to fear. Though you may feel like your world has been tipped upside down, soon it will settle into a beautiful new order, all the better to support your divine destiny. Okay? So we started with the world being upside down, and we ended with Spirit saying very clearly, yep, Your world is a bit upside down, but what's happening is bringing you closer to what it is that your actual heart desire, soul's path is. Allow yourself to go with the flow of that. But all of you beloved souls who chose pile number 2, I really need you to do some meditation. Slow yourself down. Find those moments, even if you feel like they're not there, for you to get a breath so that you have the energy that you need to persevere. Okay? So that you have the energy that you need to be able to make the right choices with all of the upheaval that is going on. All right? Give yourself the space to feel your feelings and allow yourself to get to the other side. This is a beautiful reading, you all. I hope that you can receive it. I hope that it resonated with you. And I want to thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. And if you like the readings that I'm doing for you, please be sure to click that subscribe button down there. I would appreciate it so I can continue to grow the community. And I will see you in your next reading. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you chose the Mountain Lake and pile number 3, this is going to be your reading. If you are new to the community, welcome. And if you have not yet clicked that little subscribe button down there, please do. I'd love to have you join the community. And we are going to jump into this reading. Now, this reading is a 3-part reading, and we are looking into how can I increase my peace? That is the question. How can I increase my peace? And we're going to look at, first, we're going to dig into what is your current situation, what might be disturbing the peace, whether that be peace of mind, peace of soul, peace of heart, peace of body. And then we are going to go into what actions do I need to take, what knowledge do I need to gain to be able to increase my peace. And then finally, what is Spirit's guidance toward increasing my peace? All right, so that is our reading, and let's jump right in. And we are going to look at what is your current situation and what might be disturbing your peace. Spend more time near water. That's really interesting because you all chose the Mountain Lake. So if you are near a body of water, whether that be a lake, a river, a waterfall, a ocean, whatever it might be, see if you can get to it. See if you can get to it. All right. Rely more on your intuition. Water often talks about emotion and intuition and that flow. You are thinking more heavily about a career or your current career. Okay, so some of you may be in a situation where there is either something that's disturbing your peace at work, or you are something that might be disturbing the peace for you is a longing for something different within the work that you do, what it is that you're pursuing. Perhaps you're in a job, but it's not really what you see yourself doing in the long haul, and you're feeling, I'm getting like angst, like not angst, but like itchy. I don't think itchy is really the right word, but like just itching for something new, itching for something that is closer to what it is that sets your heart on fire. Okay. So, and that can certainly, especially when you get to that space where you might have thought you were going one direction, and in terms of like your career or work, and then you realize this is not even where I want to be. I want to be doing something totally different. And maybe you're not even clear on what that is. It's what Spirit is telling me, but it's not what you're currently doing. This is saying to rely more on your intuition. So let's see if that becomes a recurrent theme. And let's see what your other oracle cards are in regards to the current situation. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so you've got beneath the surface, hidden truths, something unknown. So this may be why you're feeling, if you are feeling angst about either a work situation, a friendship, a partnership, a companion, a love. Uh, this card is indicating that you might be feeling that way because something is not revealed to you. Now, the thing about this card and what I'm also hearing is that, okay, so don't take this card as a idea to panic or get paranoid that, everybody's doing something against you. The guidance of the card is simply for you to actually tap into your intuition that it was calling for there, to tap into your intuition and take the mindful approach, right? Like be the observer in your life and in your environment and watch what is occurring, what is being said and what is not being said, not from the space. I keep hearing sort of saying, not from the space of paranoia, not from the space of like, oh, I need to check this person's phone. Oh, I need to do that. No. That's not what this card is saying. It's saying that there are some hidden truths. Something is unknown. It doesn't necessarily have to be something toxic. It's just something that you need to be more consciously aware of how you're moving in your space. That's what Spirit is saying. They want you to take a pause, right? And they want you to be mindful of your environment, okay? I'm really getting this for like a work situation, but it might be in partnership, but I'm really getting like within your career. Be mindful. I think I'm hearing in my head to keep your own counsel, okay? Keep your own counsel. And, that is when, there's a need for you might actually have some hidden truths as well, okay? So you may have some hidden truths as well, but the guidance here is to be more mindful and to keep your own counsel. You don't need to share everything with everybody all the time, as my mother so often says. Okay, so let's look at your tarot cards for what is your current situation to see if this will give us more of the story. But I'm certainly beginning to see this situation. Two of Pentacles. So there's a choice here. And again, we're sort of looking at this sort of career dynamic. Magician. Look at that. Love that Magician card. Okay. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles is really talking about seeking harmony, seeking balance. It can also represent needing to make a choice in regards to your foundation. It could be in regards to your career, in regards to your money and resources, your foundational pieces within your physical life, right? What's going on in your life. There's both a need to find balance and harmony, because you may be feeling out of balance because something is going on underneath the surface and you need to tap into your intuition. And at the same time, I believe that you all have actually been manifesting. And if you haven't been manifesting, what you need to know is that you currently have the power to be able to shift your reality, bring something out of nothing, okay? Create a world, the world in which you want to exist. And it seems as if either some of you already are manifesting this energy of the King of Wands, or you may not even be consciously aware of it, but you can certainly shift to be more consciously aware of it, to bring in this energy of the King of Wands, who is a natural leader, who is creative, who is passionate, who is abundant, okay? So if this is in regards to your career, there's really an opportunity here for you to find the balance, harmony, and ultimately the peace that it is that we're talking about here by manifesting what it is that you see envisioned for yourself in the future, and then be able to step into your boss energy here of the King of Wands, creative, making something out of nothing. He can certainly do that and represent charismatic, passionate leadership while he's doing it. Okay. And so, male or female, however you identify, I'm just talking about the energy of the King of Wands. Okay. And that the magician here is about manifesting. Okay. Manifesting what it is possible. Taking the, I want to say the chemicals, but that doesn't really make sense. Taking the chemicals of the universe and putting them in your cauldron and popping out that which you want to manifest. Trusting that your own hands have the power to create the life and world that you so desire. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for your current situation. So there's some things that may be unknown, but the thing is, as the magician, so there's really the guidance here, or, what is really keeps kind of repeating here is your need to tap into your intuition, to tap into your inner knowing, which is what your intuition is, right? Because that is going to help you to navigate through whatever hidden truths are happening within your current environment and whatever might be blocking you like a giant iceberg, okay, to getting to what it is that you desire in regards to building a foundation and a career for yourself that you feel good about, that you feel inspired by, that you want to keep doing and doing and doing because it brings you joy. All right. So that being said, yeah, because this journey here, and I am about to switch, but this journey here of needing to find the balance can definitely disrupt your peace, right? And also because some of you, I feel like this pile is got a bunch of very intuitive, deeply, probably empathic, beautiful souls. Even though there are hidden truths, something is unknown, Spirit is saying, you can actually tap into what this is, okay? And that is why, interesting, and that is why the direction is, you don't need to be running around getting paranoid. You don't need to become, detective, whatever your name is, detective, whoever you are, detective pile 3, right? You don't need to become that. What you need to do is become mindful of your environment. Pay attention to the clues, all right? And allow yourself to fully see what you already know to be true, okay? That's what I'm hearing. Now, in regards to what actions do you need to take and or what knowledge do you need to gather, okay, to be able to help you to increase your peace, this is what the tarot cards were that we pulled for that part of the reading. And you've got an interesting, the 6 of Swords. Yeah, and I find the king of Swords, and I find the king to really be mindful, because as soon as I turned this, it was like mindful. That's exactly what I heard. The King of Swords is balanced in his intellect and his spirituality, okay? And the Knight of Cups, okay? And this is really about tapping into your emotionality, tapping into that inner, sort of openness as well to love, because can be like a romantic, a messenger of love, okay? It can also be the Knight of Cups. But what I'm getting in this context, in terms of what actions do you need to take to be able to bring your peace forward, to me, this is about you tapping into your own self-love, into your own your own vibration of love, okay? If hopefully that makes sense, because what I'm seeing here is your 6 of Swords here is saying that you're going to need to move away from something. It may be something that is uncovered in the hidden truths, or what is hiding underneath the iceberg here. What's good. There's a lot going on underneath there, right? that could cause some damage to a ship that's just lightly sailing along, that's not aware of what's happening with what's going on underneath the surface. So there may be a need for you to be able to move away from something. But the good thing about the Six of Swords is that it is saying that divine intervention is there to help bring you safely to shore. A helper out of the blue is going to come in and either, and this is what I'm hearing, is that someone's going to come in, and this is why you don't need to take any, this is why you don't need to become detective pile 3, y'all. I just heard this in my head, is that because someone else, a divine intervention, is going to reveal the hidden truths. All right. But in order for you to be able to maintain your peace, to restore your peace, you need to allow that to be revealed. Okay. You don't need to start taking action around that. You need to simply sit back and manifest the reality that you want to come into reality. Okay. Don't focus on what you don't know or don't know. In other words, the hidden truths that you may intuitively be picking up. Don't focus on that. Focus on what it is that you are creating, because you have a lot of power right now to be able to create your own reality. But don't get caught up in the cycle of focusing on the negative, focusing, because that is creating more of that. Okay, more of that chaos, more of the hidden truths, more of things unknown to you. So don't focus on that. Focus on what it is that you're actually bringing to fruition. Okay, out of the shadow into the light. All right. So that being said, the other guidance around what action to take or knowledge to gain, you've got the salamander and black pepper, inspiration. Okay, so we'll talk about that. And then you've got boundaries. Look at that. So she is drawing her circle. She is drawing her energetic boundaries around her. This is also speaking of physical boundaries. Any relationship, this is really asking you the question to say, part of what has been, look at the connections that you have in your life. Okay, so I'm talking about whether or not they are love connections, whether they are friend connections, whether they are family connections, whether they are work connections. Think about the connections in your life and where are the connections disturbing your peace, okay? And wherever those connections are that are disturbing your peace, revisit your boundaries. Have you set any boundaries with those particular relationships? If you have, are they strong enough? Do you need to build better boundaries? Do you need to communicate? Have you set boundaries and not communicated them? You know, Spirit's saying that. Yeah, she set boundaries, but nobody knows that those boundaries are there. And then you're not following through on holding the person accountable to the boundary that you set. Okay. So you have to communicate boundaries. You can't just assume that people understand what your boundaries are. And then particularly if they cross the boundary and you don't do anything about it. So this is about strengthening your boundaries. Okay. Strengthening your boundaries. This strengthening of your boundaries, surprisingly as it feels, because it sometimes feels like strengthening boundaries is really difficult. Okay. But what it's going to do is it's going to restore peace. By taking the action of setting your boundaries, you're going to restore peace. All right. Now, the good thing about the salamander and the black pepper is this talks about a new opportunity. And a new opportunity is waiting for you. And to fulfill it, you must remain inspired, applying your full energy to your creative endeavors. Okay. So a new opportunity is coming forth for you. This is the other reason, thank you, Spirit, because it keeps sort of coming back to say, and that's why I told you, do not focus on what is hidden. That is not where your energy needs to be. Your energy needs to be on creating. Your energy needs to be on what it is that you're manifesting, what you're bringing forward. Okay? Not what is in the shadow. That isn't. It will be brought to light for you. It is not your concern. Your concern is what it is that you're creating. Move forward rather than looking back at the shadow, okay? Because the sunlight that you feel on your face as you continue to move forward will illuminate the shadow that is behind you, okay? So that is that. All right. So these are the actions that I'm seeing, the knowledge that you need to take in regards to restoring your peace, beautiful pile number 3. And so now let's look at what is the guidance from spirit, okay? And you've got, yeah, and some of you may really be feeling that. So this says you are not alone. You know, you can see like all of these energies behind her are kind of representing those guardians, those guides, the higher power, okay, that is over it all, okay? Those angels, if your belief is in angels, right? Those elevated spirits, those ancestral spirits is walking with you. You are not alone. You are never alone. You have never been alone, okay? You will never be alone. All right. But oftentimes we can feel that way, particularly if we're walking a spiritual path. At times it feels like we are very much alone. But what spirit is reminding you, because this is the guidance from spirit, is that you are not, and that you've got a lot of energies, ancestral energies, elevated energies, God Almighty Himself looking over you and guiding you and supporting you, even when you feel like you're alone, okay? The way that you access that is to tap in to what is going on internally for you. And if you're feeling alone, understand that you have the power of manifestation, and you can actually say out loud to your guides that are around you, to God, to your angels, I feel alone. Can you help me to not feel alone? Okay. And then recognize when you get that phone call from somebody, when you go out and see someone that you need to see, when your heart feels not alone, not as alone, right? Recognize it, acknowledge it, so that the universe can give you more of that. All right. That whole little conversation came up. So, and then we've got the 2 tarot here, and then 2 oracles. So let's see what your tarot are. Yeah, okay. So many of you may be feeling interesting. Okay, all right. So Spirit is saying through these cards that some of you are really suffering. Okay, the 3 of Wands is about a heartbreak. Okay, and remember that heartbreaks. A heartbreak can be from a love, like it is from a love. A heartbreak is from a love, but that love can be a romantic partner. It could be, you can have heartbreak from family. You can have heartbreak from friends. You can have heartbreak from your work. If you're putting your passion and your heart into what you're doing, and somehow something goes down in that environment, you can have heartbreak. Okay. And so the spirit is really acknowledging that you're not only having heartbreak, but you're having heartbreak behind closed doors. So your outside face, you might not be showing the tears that are flowing behind the closed doors. And so all of you souls who chose pile number 3, you beloved souls, Spirit is reminding you here that you are not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. You do not have to suffer alone. And one of the other things that they're saying here is one of the reasons why you are feeling that is because you're allowing yourself to be blindfolded more so than you need to be, because you actually have the intuitive knowing of what actions you need to take to move forward. But some of you, I'm hearing, may be afraid to take certain steps. And the Spirit is saying, don't beat yourself up about that, but know that you have what it takes. You have the strength. You have the courage, you have the fortitude to get to the other side of this. And on top of that, with the Six of Swords coming in, you've got divine intervention and support coming in to help you to get safely to the other side. So with that said, you have the opportunity to step out of your heartbreak and move into a space of looking fully and openly at the choices that you need to make and making a choice that best serves you. Okay, pile number 3. Yeah, I'm really sorry that you're going through a heartbreak of some kind. We all go through it, and it's never good. It's never good. It's very painful. And but you just need to know, you got to just keep moving through it. If you're in that space, because I'm really feeling it right now, if you're in that space of feeling a lot of pain, understand that you're not alone. You're not alone, and you can make it to the other side. Not only can you, but you will. Okay. And yeah, and if you're in need, you need to tap into a refuge, finding a pause, taking a moment of peace, okay? Taking a bit of a break, okay? Now, I want to be clear that you absolutely can take a break, and I want you to do that, beautiful pile number 3. And I also want you to be in action around manifesting what it is for your future. I want you to be in action around setting the boundaries that you need to set in the relationships within your life. And I want you to be in action around taking off the blindfold so that you can look clearly at the choices that you need to make and make the choice that best serves you. Okay. So definitely take a pause, but also be in action and be fearless. Okay. There we have it. Be fearless. This is a beautiful card. This is actually about taking action. This card is actually Spirit saying, this is not a time to wait. This is time. Some of you all have been suffering for some time, and Spirit is saying, no more, no more. We don't need to suffer anymore. Okay. Now, for those of you who this has not been that long, or it doesn't matter, because a moment of this suffering is too long. But some of you all have been suffering with this heartbreak and this pain and the sorrow behind closed doors for some time. And Spirit is saying, no more. We are done with that. It is time for you to take action. It is time for you to be fearless, because you are more than capable of doing that. Okay. You are more than capable of doing that. Spirit is going to give you the support and the guidance that you need to move from point A to point B. But understand that you also play a role in that. You also have to take the action to be fearless. Okay. This card is saying, now is your time to leap. Do not hesitate. Do not fear. You don't need to know how it's all going to work out in order for everything to work out perfectly. This is not a time for small tentative steps. This is the time for a big gesture, to take a chance, to be bold. So take a running leap with your eye only on where you are going. Your body will trust you and follow. I will protect and guide you. Let us leap together fearlessly into the unfolding future of your divine destiny. It will be a wild ride. And so that is from the Kuan Yin Oracle. Okay. This is really beautiful. So, it says here that there is a time to have patience, to wait for the way to be shown. There is a time for rest, for gathering energy, to know that when the time is right, the fuel required for action will be ready. And then there is a time for action itself, when there is no need for tentativeness or analysis. The time will come to leap boldly and say yes, to act without hesitation. It requires courage, self-belief, and a willingness to take a risk. And that time for you is right now. Okay. So that is the action that you need to take. This is the guidance from Spirit. They're encouraging you to be fearless. to step forward, to take the boundaries that you need to take, tap into your emotions, take off your blindfold, and love on yourself, y'all. Love on yourself. The truth will be revealed, but focus on manifesting what you want. Don't focus on what you don't know, okay? That is going to be your reading. Thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and if you are liking the readings that I'm bringing to you, please click that subscribe button. Share, like, comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you in your next reading. Okay, bye-bye.